Hi everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you joined us today. Welcome to Voice Your Soul, brought to you by MeMA-Music. We are a social justice music education nonprofit organization in Chicago. I'm very excited today to announce our special guest. This is going to be a little long-winded because she's got quite a background, so give me a moment here. Today's guest is the beautiful, talented, spiritual, gracious, fashionable, people and planet-loving master chef and music industry mogul, Melissa Molly Hunter. Molly has been active in the entertainment industry for over 15 years. She's a Grammy-nominated producer, Emmy-winning actor, CEO and founder of EarthGirl and StoneWood Music, and runs her own branding agency, the Retnuh Agency. Molly has recently been featured on panels for Black Girls Rock, Dove's Crown Day, Ford's Born to Roll initiative, and is a regular feature on NBC as a chef. Yes, she's a chef and a music industry mogul. Her path was filled with hardships and adversity, but she overcame it all to make a difference in many lives in the entertainment industry for artists such as J. Cole, T.I., Drake, Lenny Kravitz, Wiz Khalifa, and tons more. She is someone who has always searched for peace and prosperity, and now I would like to bring her aboard. Welcome, Molly. Hey.
Hi.
How are ya? You look so comfy and laid back.
I am. When I talk to my family at home, this is how I am. So I wanted to kind of just give that family vibe. But how am I? After that introduction, geez, I'm overwhelmed. That's how I am.
Well, it's you.
Gratitude more than anything. And I think in this time, that's what keeps us winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you've got some very cool new endeavors, StoneWood Music, which is a record label and a creative space for artists, and EarthGirl, where you're supporting and empowering women and young girls, which is impressive, amazing. But what I would like to do is actually begin with your story. You had said, I looked this up, in a 2015 interview with Essence Magazine, you expressed how you started off as a, quote, troubled kid with a knack for the business. Tell us a little bit more about those challenges growing up. I know you were raised in Waukegan, outside of Chicago here, but interested to hear.
And I don't do it often. I thought about it today. The toughest time I probably had was in North Chicago. I was raised there every summer when my parents, we were out of school with the family club. So between Waukegan and North Chicago. Yeah.
Okay.
In the 70s.
In the 70s. Woo! Wow. That's very...
Chicago was in the 70s. And then more Waukegan, more was in the 80s, I think. And also in the 70s, but more in the 80s.
Okay. And also, you had mentioned here that you started off as a troubled child. Now, that could mean anything. What do you mean like that?
Kind in the interview. If you had asked me a few years later, and I don't think I was a bad kid. I just saw things growing up that affected me, which I'm still unlearning.
Like what? What kinds of stuff?
I saw people stealing. I saw selling drugs. I saw people physically hurting each other, and all of the above.
Yeah.
I did a lot. Yeah, and it's funny because my great grandmother, who I told you about when we had our last call, she never knew the trouble I used to be in. And, first time I got in real trouble, I should say, and it wasn't good trouble. I was stealing, and over there in Waukegan for Christmas presents for other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 13 years old, and I got arrested.
Oh, wow.
So cocky because I'd been doing it since I was a little kid.
Okay.
I had some family members who did it. They were boosters. And they say, don't steal from nobody personally. Just stores have insurance, baby,
Right, exactly. They can replace whatever you stole.
So Nah, I mean, I was in trouble a lot. I was an angry kid. I saw a lot of violence growing up and was a part of it. And it was a normal part of our lives to have to defend yourself. And my father was not one who was ever going to see his kids come home hurt. So he made us soldiers. And if
Mm.
I no one who's younger than 40 or maybe 35 will remember this cartoon, but there was a cartoon I used to watch outside of Tom and Jerry, and we was just fighting to like the cat and mouse thing. It was Underdog, and you'd always
Oh,
come in and beat
loved
up the
it.
bad guy, right?
Yes.
That's who I thought I was. I thought I was Underdog. So if I saw someone hurting somebody, there was a problem. So there were times where I got arrested for physically harming people who were hurting other people. So, you know,
How did you handle that, though? What was it like getting arrested at that age?
um, my dad was a tough cat, and everybody was afraid of him. So I think a lot of the police might have known him, or they treated
Mm.
me well. It was county. The worst time was county. Like, oh man, Cook County was the
Okay.
worst. That changed my life, made me turn my life around. And
Being
yeah, it was horrible. The worst. It was probably at that time, m- may still be the worst experience I ever really felt energy wise because I am spiritual and I feel everything. So when you're in a
yeah.
place where so many people are hurting, and my success comes from me having a kind heart and a giving, generous heart. So when you have that, you have empathy. But when you
Mm-hmm.
over empathize, you can feel everybody's problems. And I didn't like being in there. I didn't like being locked up, and I didn't like the smell. I didn't obviously food. And my dad was like, "I'm not coming to get you. You're gonna
Mm.
stay in there," which was the best thing he ever did. A friend of mine's mom came and finally got me after a while, but that was tough. It was a tough time. They said, "You'll be back. We'll see you next time."
Oh, right.
Because
That's
they think,
encouraging,
yeah, yeah,
right?
that's
Kind
really
of
good.
labeling you like
Yeah,
that, you
yeah, you'll
know?
be back. We'll see you next time. And
Right. Yeah.
it was tough. But for me, I was the kid who did everything three times. I didn't learn.
Mm.
Thought I could
But
get
you,
away with stuff,
right.
and you can't get away with things in life. Once I started learning about karma and really like, really like when I turned 19, I was 18, I was like, "You're 18 now. You can't, you're not juvenile anymore." And if I would have known the rules, I probably would have flipped it out at 16 and said, "Hey, you can be tried as adult at 16." But, you know, growing up, going through that really blessed me. And I used to ask God, like, why? I know I'm not a bad kid. Why did I snap off and do that? You don't realize what you've gone through when you're younger affects you. And if you're an emotional person, you will react. And
Yes.
if you don't meditate and think about how you will react in certain situations, you're just going to be an unconscious being that just whatever pops in your head, you're going to do. So if you
Yeah.
see people knocking people out, that's what you're going to do. You
Mm-hmm.
see people doing this, that's what you're going to do. You're going to live an unconscious life and say, oh, they selling weed over here to get new tennis shoes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to consciously make a decision to try to learn a skill to further my life and better my life because nobody had showed me that was an option.
Right.
People will say, we showed you. Hey, everybody adapts to their environment and the adversity that comes and the hardship in your environment a different way. You become fearful, some people become animals, and they
Yeah.
become backed against the wall. And I understand that. So for me, I'm now as a grown up glad because I love music, and the music that's popular comes from the people who understand the streets.
Right.
That's
Because
what
they've
hip hop is.
experienced it.
So
Sure.
me being able to survive and get out of the streets as a young person helped me to be real great friends and brothers with Two Chains and Trey the Truth and Houston and Jay Prince and Drake and Ti is one of my great friends, and and people who come from adversity, because we can sit and have a conversation and think about when we're stupid, riding our bikes, selling weed or whatever when it wasn't legal, and thinking we were didn't know nothing about the music industry or how you made money in it or didn't even care. We just liked music. So, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I had the experience. I'm sad for my young self that I had to learn the hard way a lot. And I would prefer to have other people who are listening that are younger or older and haven't gotten over trying to get things the easy way, or, you know, not learning a skill and having the patience to do things will get you in that kind of trouble, you know.
Well, yeah, it's interesting though because I think there's I don't know if it's a plus, but there's something positive to be said about learning the street hustle because I think that when you do get into the world of business, there is a bit of hustling that goes on,
The best street
and
hustling I ever did was on Jackson Street, and I had a lemonade stand, and
oh
I would have my sisters and everybody, and I'd say, please, and if they didn't want to buy one, can you just donate?
yeah,
I was that kid that they talk about out in the streets here with the water, selling the waters out in the street. I was selling, at that time people trusted your lemonade, or, whatever.
yeah.
So I think I learned my street hustle from my hustle being a kid. I always hustled as a little kid because I had so many. My dad's yours was 11. So I had
Wow.
so many kids in the house that I wanted to have things.
Hmm.
So that was where my hustle came from.
How did you get into the music? Oh, actually, I wanted to ask you, was music played a lot around the house? When did you first get into music? Like, how did you discover it?
I
Or,
think my grandfather and my grandmother were musicians, and my great uncle Brett was a musician.
okay.
So they passed that on, my grandfather, to my father, and music was a part of me when I was in my mom. We always
Oh,
had a
wow.
studio. My dad was a
Oh,
musician and a music lover, and I think he had us write my. I think I got a copy, and my first song was 3 years old.
oh,
3, 4,
wow.
singing 3, 4, 5 years old. So we didn't get to watch TV like that. My dad would say, "Go write a song or read a book."
Really?
Yes, write a song
That's
or read a book.
incredible.
And he played music in the house every single day, records all day long, and
Do you
that's
remember
what
anything he played for you?
everything. I remember everything, and I'm still a fan of everything, from Stevie Wonder, every record, to Commodores, to Lionel Richie, and all the Motown stuff with Michael Jackson and the Jackson Five, and I mean, but everything from Barbara Streisand. My mother is of Jewish descent, so from Barbara Streisand, the Carpenters, to the Beach Boys, to the Beatles.
Oh, wow.
I had such a variety of music being
That's
played
great.
in the house. It really influenced me, and he made me sing. He made me, be a part of being active. And when I say made me, it wasn't even a forced thing. As a young person, I realized in church that I had a voice, because when I first started singing, people would just look, and then I would look and hear myself. So I did a lot of performing as a young person, and get up and perform for whoever was there. We always had singing nights where my dad would play the guitar and we'd sing. And the funnest part was being in North Chicago at my uncle Brett's house and having a bonfire, and all the families, all the kids would have their guitars and their African thumb pianos, and you know all these different instruments, and we drummers. My uncle Jimmy would be the drummer, and they had bands. They traveled, and music was their dream. Their dream to do what I'm doing, it was their dream, and I'm doing it. And unfortunately, coming from a small town in Waukegan in North Chicago, there wasn't. You didn't really know if Hollywood people were coming, which sometimes I heard they would, to scout, but you didn't know
Mm,
how to do business in the music industry. You didn't have
right.
Motown like Detroit did. So a lot of the jazz that was played, it was a lot of sad music too, because the blues in Chicago was the sad part.
Yep.
Because as a you study the history of music, which I have. you look at ragtime when everyone thought they were free, got their 40 acres and mules, lining their pockets with money and going in the streets, kicking it, turning up, and then you build a country and you're ostracized. So
Yep.
then you're sad, and it comes out in the music. So for me, I'm excited about these times that are hard right now. As Nina Simone said, music should reflect the times. And I've been waiting a long time to do my music and writing songs for the past 15 years at the old
Wow.
at the old studio that I was at. And now we have StoneWood. So in this time, my partner Groove and I have, you know, we're creating a beautiful, peaceful musical place that we can be creative with our friends. And all these songs that I've worked on for the past 15 years, I'm finally able to be creative. So I'm excited about that. It takes you a long time to do what you
Yeah.
love if you do it the right way.
So this is a label and a studio,
It's a label, but
Stonewood?
it's very small boutique.
Okay.
Labels are tough to have because
Yeah.
people who want to have dreams. You hear all these stories about these people saying, "Hey, these contracts, these slave contracts, da da
Yes.
da da," and there's another side. It's just like a battery. Who's gonna? I'm not putting my life at my age into anybody but what I want to do right now.
Right.
I want to cook. I want to make music too. Donated a lot of time to people's dreams. So for me, when you hear these stories about the big bad music industry, who's going to put their life behind your entire dream unless they're going to be partners?
Sure.
It has to be a fair partnership.
Mm-hmm.
But people just, when you hear these artists and people talking about how bad it is, shame on them for not giving the whole story. Because I know a lot of record executives and people who signed a lot of great deals. And they may not have been the deals that they wanted at the time, but they didn't have anything to offer. A million
Right.
people who are artists out here, zillions of people, billions of people. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'm excited about just being creative right now. But yeah, my desire came from me watching the Jackson 5, you know, on when I was a little tiny kid, watching Michael Jackson, at the AMAs and all the
That's
different moments.
Sullivan.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Well, I'm not
Yeah.
not not really Ed. It was more like the award shows,
Okay.
that I got to see the Grammys and the AMA
Yeah.
and things like that. That was inspirational. And music videos, MTV was big when I was a kid. It was all
Yeah.
about the music, and whoever you saw on that inspired you. I think Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, um, Stevie Wonder, Barbara Streisand, Karen Carpenter, Linda Ronstadt, Dolly Parton. You
Wow.
know, these people inspired me.
So with all these people, all this music you listen to, how would you describe the music you've been making over the last 15 years?
It's everything. It's every different genre, and it's so funny because everybody's like, "You gotta pick one." And I just watched Linda Ronstadt's documentary. I think
Document.
it's on YouTube. But boy, I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. I wish I could have seen this when I was younger because I would have known I'm not nuts. I'm doing all kinds of music.
Right.
Every artist I mentioned. I mean, Joni Mitchell. I love Joni Mitchell. I love, you know, I like Mahalia Jackson, but everybody knows I love Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really at this point in my career, whatever comes out, and a lot. My partner Groove, he's really great at classically trained himself music on instruments and guitar. I'm picking the guitar back up. I'll pick up the thumb piano. I like a lot of eclectic things. I think being multicultural and mixed up when it comes to races, my musical taste is the same way.
Yeah. Which is cool. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's great. I think today too, you don't necessarily have to be relegated to one format, um, which I think is wonderful. I think the internet has kind of opened up this global world of any kind of music and all kinds of music.
Yeah.
And I would think with the different genres that you've listened to, that you probably will be putting out some very cool stuff too.
I'm excited. I like it. It's funny when one song I did the other day, it actually is about Chicago, and where I'm from, and it's kind of given hope. It just made me think, wow, it's so timely. And I remember when we wrote the song, I thought people not ready to hear the truth and what's really going on in the streets and the school systems and whatever. And
Mm.
you know, I'm lucky that I'm not a judgmental person because it doesn't come off judgy, and it is super cool. So I like hearing it. And for me, I'm not doing music to show how great I am. I do it because I love it, and it inspires me, and it's a release. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you don't think when you get in the entertainment industry about how much fuckery. Sorry, I couldn't think of any.
No, I
I'm
believe me,
sorry.
I was there. I get it. I know.
Sorry for cussing, but I tried to find like 20 other words flipped and just wasn't right. So
Yeah, but that was a perfect word.
yeah, so
That was the perfect word. Yeah. So you've got this great space. You're also you're continuing to make music. You've made music. You've got like 15 years of stuff, but you are really you've got incredible drive. And I think that that's something that I hear a lot of young people say they struggle with. You know, they want to become musicians or they want to become entrepreneurs, but they feel that they struggle with that. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you keep yourself going? Because there is a lot of adversity in the world, and you've experienced a lot. And one of the things that you've always talked about is inner peace and changing your mind, your habit of mind, which is a hard thing to do because we sort of are all, I think, we grow up sort of with learned behavior. So we then, as we get older, have to kind of try and change those things that are obstacles and are blocking our way. How do you go about doing stuff like that? I can easily say to someone, man, you got to change your habit, change your mind. You got to look at it a different way.
no, you do, but it's not easy. I just had this conversation. It If you want a six pack and you want muscles, it's
Yeah,
hard.
right.
People who have muscles, even if they take steroids, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work. The answer is hard work.
So it's
You
putting in,
have to
yeah,
work on your mind. Your thoughts are things. Your thoughts, your whole life are your thoughts.
right.
If your whole life and your energy and how you feel, depressed, happy, whatever, are your thoughts, you have to control them. And it's not easy.
It's not.
The
And I
hardest
think,
thing you can learn how to do when they say meditate, they mean, if this happens, what's my response? That happened. Why did I respond that way? Ooh, I shouldn't have thought that way. Man, next time maybe I'll think that. Maybe I'll do it this way. Let me think about it for a couple of days and see if that's the right idea. Come back to it for the next 3 days until you realize I have to program my mind to do everything that I want to do. And half of that is deprogramming and unlearning some shit
exactly.
that I saw or got treated like or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Now, for me, my incredible drive, my dad said something the other day because it was on this Born to Be a Boss panel. And he said, "You were bossy." He texted me,
That's
"You were bossy,
great.
but I didn't want to stop you. And I knew that was something that you needed because you were a leader. And I didn't discourage you." And I
Wow.
thought, but what he did do, which as a young person, I had no life, in my opinion. I worked every day on
Mm-hmm.
different things. Get your books before the last period. You ain't hanging out after school.
Mm.
And
Oh,
by
wow.
the time that last bell rings where they got to get off the campus, because we live 2 houses from the school, high school, you better have a rake in your hand. And people would drive by laughing and, ha,
Oh, wow.
laughing because we had to work. We
Mm-hmm.
bought this big old house and couldn't afford to have nobody to be taking care of the property. We were the maids. We were the gardeners, we was the leaf pickers, we were the leaf blowers, we were the snow shovelers. We worked every single day, even during the summer. We had a break during the summer sometimes. My mom would take us to the so honor your parents if they do any shit for you, because most parents don't. But my mom would take us every Wednesday. She'd take off work and take us somewhere, the
Oh,
pool,
wow.
the beach, Waukegan Beach, the
Mm-hmm.
library, somewhere for ice cream. So, but for me, I'm named after my great grandmother, and I watched her every summer work, every spring plant seeds in a project little garden. Well, first in my aunt's house when she lived there, my great aunt. And then when she moved to this little project apartment, it was like elderly home, but it was more like a little project apartment. She had a little, took a little piece of land that wasn't hers outside of it, and I would help her. North Chicago did a little article on me when Groove and I out put out Little Mama. He produced Little Mama's lip gloss, and said even the ground is mourning when my grandmother passed because she planted. She had a freezer instead of a couch. And that's what she did all day. Cooked up greens, sweet potatoes, put them in plastic, put them in the
Wow.
freezer. She fed all of us all the time from it. So I had a lot of, my mother worked hard. My father worked hard. We worked. I mean, like grown men with, you know what I mean? Like hard labor. So when you have that in your mind and you don't know anything else but work, you
Right.
have extra tool. So parents who make their kids work, you giving them that extra opportunity. If you don't want to work, you don't want to win. You want somebody to do it for you, then you'll be complaining you signed some contract, but you didn't work for it.
Right.
Everybody got to put you somewhere they deserve to do. You didn't work for
Mm.
it. So, you said you have a lot of kids that say that. And one thing I notice about most celebrities that make it, and, and, and just watching over the last 15, 20 years, people who I liked who became friendly or friends with me, so watching Kendrick, watching J. Cole, Jermaine, watching Travis Scott. They never was thirsty Thursday about when am I gonna make it? Can you help me? They never like that. They just said, let me hone my skills. When
Mm.
it's my time, it's gonna be my time. I know I'm gonna be great. I'm great now, and I'm gonna get better. I think when you talk about kids who or people, you could be what age to me and do music. I don't put a time limit on music. Say they
Yeah.
want to do music. Do they really want to do music? Because you can see the ones that are doing it and don't need to be motivated or wake up every day saying, how's someone going to help me do it? No, you got to learn how to get it. I'm not here to teach you how to have a hustle. If you don't have hustle naturally in you, you're going to set yourself up for heartache trying to be an artist or anybody in this business.
Yeah.
If it's not natural for you to wake up every day and go get it and you like it, Khaled, Diddy, they like it. They love it. Wiz Khalifa, they love it. You know, Drake loves it. Future loves it. We curated What a Time to Be Alive. I was there at Treason, and I couldn't believe how motivated they were. It was 6 days straight, 6, 7, maybe even 9 days. I don't remember how many days now because it's been a while, but we worked until 10 in the morning,
Yeah.
worked all night. So, yeah, it takes drive, it takes tenacity, but it also takes you understanding what you're going to get yourself into.
Right.
I just want to sing, I just want to rap. Okay, well, if you want to have a lemonade stand, do you just want to make the lemonade?
Exactly.
You don't want to learn how much it costs for the lemons and the water and the cups and how much a profit should be. And it's backwards. This system was created for you to not want to do any of that stuff. I just want to be the artist. Well, wake up, Alice. It's a long way from Wonderland. That's what my grandmother used to say. My aunt, wake up, Alice. Is a long way from Wonderland. You need, if you want to be happy in the music industry, you should study in entertainment. How many people were a huge success that really were happy?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson
Yeah.
wasn't. Whitney Houston wasn't.
Right. Or lost all
Tupac
their
wasn't.
money. Mm-hmm.
People weren't peaceful. People weren't happy because they never studied what you could become a doctor, lawyer, money man, banker, investor. You know how many years you're going to school. You know you're going to get your master's. If you got to do a residency or internships, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. And my advice is do your research. What you're getting yourself into. 'Cause most people, even talking to people, you said there's going to be different ages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people that are over 25 that are like, I'm over 25, I'm 30, I'm 40. I didn't live my life's dream. Okay, the dream that you created before your brain was developed at 25.
Exactly, right.
So you're real depressed about a dream you had in your teenage or younger years, or your when you were a little kid and it didn't work out. I think a lot of people will be more happy if they just come from a grateful place. Like, oh, you mentioned my cooking. Man, if you'd have told me when I was a teenager I was going to be famous for cooking to famous people, I'd be mad, pissed. My dad made us cook all the time and
Oh,
with cooking lessons, and I love cooking. I used to climb up apple trees, throw apples down. My sister, my neighbor had apple trees, throw them down, make apple. Me and my sisters would make apple stuff, but I would be irritated because that wasn't my dream, you know. But now I look back and I'm like, damn, I love cooking. It's an escape for me. How amazing that I
well, you,
found that, you
yeah.
know.
But you've got the tenacity, though, I think, and probably from your upbringing and intelligence to have taken everything that you did learn from your father, as it sounds, and use that to your advantage, which I think is fantastic. I think, today with a lot of the young people that I work with, they really uh, don't see that there's anything ahead for them. And I think that if you look at the difference between when social media sort of started to happen, you look at these different eras and different age groups. I think after social media, a lot changed for kids, a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
it's horrible. You know what I told some young kids the other day? How'd you get to where you are? I said, if
mm,
I would have had Instagram and TikToks and all this crap that you guys have, guess what? I don't
yeah.
think I'll be here. I'd have been too pissed off about who commented or who didn't like my
Yes.
shit, or, who
Yes.
doesn't like me or what they think about me, or I'd have been so distracted with that stuff that you should never think about. You should never care and make moves in your mind, in your life, in your thoughts that create your world. Thoughts are things that create the way you live, the environment you live in. You should never make a move on how somebody else is viewing you or what they think. If you good with you and God, then that's the move that you make.
Right.
Yeah, I said
I-
that the other day. I feel sorry for a lot of these kids because their parents ain't setting any boundaries either.
Absolutely.
We had
This,
boundaries on TV. PG-13 was PG-13. I cursed as a kid, but you never heard it on TV. I
yeah.
was the one kid or adult that cursed.
Right. Exactly. That's so interesting, though. When you are, of course, there's COVID right now, but when you've done your camps with EarthGirl, for example, and as we know, women have it harder in life anyway. I mean, it's just, it's unfortunate, but
I don't know. I don't know if they
you know,
do.
yeah,
I don't know if girls have it harder. I think it's a different hard. And
yeah,
the
it's
reason
a
why I told, and a lot of I have a lot of young men that follow me
okay,
more than women. Earth Girl now made it 50-50, but for a long time, it was about 69% men that followed me.
okay,
And I chose the Earth Girl movement because men come from women, and
hmm,
women are helpers. I mean, you know, if you listen to Hebrew, woman means helper.
yep,
So women don't have it harder all the time. Yes, in the workforce. Yes, they
right,
get paid less. I chose to focus on African American women because they are the most underappreciated, underpaid. There's 80,000 missing for their
ugh,
organs that people are selling them or for sex. And they beat down. So But I chose to do the Earth Girl movement because we help young men too with our Earthy and Earth Angel Worldwide. We got a nonprofit because women can change the world.
Mm-hmm.
Life comes from us. So, yeah, man, it's a tough time right now if you don't have your mind right. If you
Yeah.
don't if you don't work hard, like if you are training for the Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
that's how dire it is because energy is so bad out in the world right now because of this establishment in this past, you know, 4 years of hardship, you know. It's a rough time. And even me, I have a rough time the last few days. I say rough time. For me, I've been through so much adversity that I do have a hard come like an M&M, I think. Like a peanut M&M or some shit. There's a hard coat and it's really soft. It's really hard
Yeah.
in the middle,
All right.
because you learn. And if I had one thing to say to my young self, I would say everything happened for a reason.
Yeah, I think
All
that way
these
too.
hardships that you're going through, even being sad at yourself that you didn't give it your all, and maybe you could have been
Mm-hmm.
in the NFL, maybe you could have been in the NBA, maybe you could have went to the Olympics. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. I believe the universe will maybe not be so motivated because that ain't what your path is supposed to be. Don't be so hard on yourself. One thing about me, I didn't let nobody be hard on me about my choice,
Hmm.
and it wasn't. I think my parents at times were proud of me, but not until later in life. For a long time, I heard I was a wandering nomad. They didn't quite get it, and you can't. I don't expect anybody to,
Right.
you know.
Well, and I
Um,
think I think we are at a young age. I mean, you just said something a couple minutes ago too. Our brains are not really fully developed until what, 20 or something?
24,
20.
25.
There you go.
I
24,
studied human
25.
brain, and that thing is this thing is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
That's complicated. One of the things that I do to stay motivated on positive, I really look at it like a screen. Say you meditate, you close off, you see a black screen. Where's all the files I need to delete, delete, delete? And then you got to go later and go get it out the trash and look at it. Wait, damn, I thought I deleted it. Let me pull this back out because now I'm emotional. Why did I say or do that dumb thing? Well, I guess you can't delete trauma.
Mm,
You
no.
can put it in the attic, put it on the top shelf. When you do something stupid or you feel scared or nervous or some type of way, you pull it down and go, is something dangerous happen or is that PTSD from what I went through?
Right. Well, you brought something up earlier about that too. I think, even though we are sort of a product of our upbringing or this learned behavior, and a lot of us have had traumatic experiences, I think what you talk about is the skills that you use. And I think that's a really important thing to teach young people is that, okay, something happened in the past and it was traumatic and horrible, but let's not keep going back. Let's go forward and learn some skills on how do we deal with that when that starts to come up again, when we're stressed out, when we're nervous, when we've got those, um, you know,
Triggers,
triggers that
trigger
are
point.
right,
You had
right.
to
And
be
I,
like, why do I do stuff? Oh, if I hear this in my head, okay, you want to fuck with me? Stop. That's a trigger. What's going on? Don't react. Don't be
especially
emotional.
that one,
Pull
especially,
yourself back. But there's other, whatever yours are. Everybody, we have different things. Like, I'm just a loser, or whatever your trigger is.
yeah,
Whatever the thing is that's in your head that's about to make you go down the wrong thought pattern or the wrong wormhole or the wrong energy, you immediately check yourself on the trigger. Not, and you have friends and family that you say,
right.
listen, I know this thing that I do bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
The next time I do it, will you tell me? And my partner, he says speed bumps. And
Oh, I like that.
yeah, and my sister and my friends, they say speed bumps because I've given them that, hey, conversation that I know I'm an idiot sometimes, and I just be impatient. It's like when DJ Khaled was in the room, this man brought in, it had to be about $100,000 worth of, $500,000 probably was like a stack this big. And I was like, this man had all this money, and he was just talking to his staff and saying, hey, can you get so and so on the phone? Hey, and he had 10 different things that he was juggling, and it was working. He had all the plates spinning, it was working, and they were all working. And 5 minutes later, hey, did you get him on the phone? Man, it was only been 5 minutes, but he wanted that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
so he's obviously trained his brain to focus when he's working a certain way. And I think if you've had trauma in your life, to move forward to do the things, hey, I want to do this. Okay, well, skills pay the bills, number one. So practice,
Mm.
learn something.
Yes.
You want to do music? Pick up the guitar. Be an instrumentalist. Get on YouTube. Learn how to do beats. Even if you ain't got a bunch of money, try to get a job so you can get even a laptop and get yourself some, even if it's, the program on your computer, whatever it is. I've seen kids make beats off of video games.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, you have to go back to, all right, I want to do all this. If I haven't cleared myself out and my life out to understand how my life is supposed to play out in my mind, but also be adaptable, I'm not going to go back in my head and go, okay, all this happened. I got it, this anxiety, or, oh, damn, my brother got shot in front of me. That was hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to work out and have muscles too. It's hard to,
Right.
it's hard to get up every morning and stretch your body. It's hard to get up every day and stretch your mind. It's hard.
Right.
But you have to do the things that are hard. Sitting in the house is unpeaceful. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Use your mind to
Exactly.
think. If going for a walk is too dangerous, go in the bathroom when nobody's using it. I do it all the time. I used to go in the bathroom, be in there with the curtain shut. People used to come and use the bathroom when I was a kid, just
Right.
getting away from people.
Well, let me ask you, you're very much into healthy living and the cooking and you're on NBC. How much of a role do you think healthy eating also plays into emotional, how we are,
And that's
date.
huge. It's like asking how much of a role putting gas in your tank works,
Oh,
makes your
wow.
car work. It's the whole, I
That's
mean, like,
big.
I study the human brain, and people just say, man, I don't know why I'm depressed. Maybe I'll put my kid on some pills. Maybe he's eating Snickers and sugar all day that affects his gray and white matter in his brain, and water. When you're dehydrated and you're just drinking sugary drinks,
Right.
you don't have water to make you happy and positive. We're like plants. So, how much is food? Everything. And that's a crappy part about living in food deserts in Chicago. It's
Yeah.
hard to get. You don't get taught. Man, I brought some fruit and vegetables to my family one time. They were like, don't bring that stuff here no more. All they ate was the Cracker Jacks and the junk food. They let that food wasted because they weren't taught
Right.
to eat for fuel and for happiness. They were
Mm-hmm.
taught to eat for pleasure because the Food and Drug Administration is a dirty game of politics, and they have rules and regulations on how you can manipulate people into making them only want to eat feel good foods.
Right.
It's dangerous. It's
Yeah.
dangerous. Somebody asked me, why do you think all the killing in Chicago? Why do you think? I'm like, well, first of all, your gray and white matter is affected by what you put in your body.
Mm.
I would be
Wow.
an animal if I didn't have fresh fruits and vegetables. I would be like them zombies you see on TV, ready to just get everybody right now in these times.
Yeah.
I'd be miserable or depressed or want to hurt myself because
We
it
yeah,
affects.
you've got to think too that when teenagers who are going through hormonal changes too are eating that way, that's got to really interfere too
It's a
with
drug. It's like
emotion.
doing drugs.
Yeah.
It make you crazy. I've, I've read studies that talks about how gluten can make somebody seriously be in an insane asylum.
Really?
and go
Gluten?
crazy eating too much. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Some people can do certain things and eat certain things, some people can't. And your
Yeah,
chemistry has a lot to do with it. And you're like,
right.
man, I'm 26 years old and I'm suddenly depressed. Well, maybe you can't eat what you ate as a teenager.
Yeah,
So, man, I'm 40 now. Well, maybe you can't eat what you ate in your 20s and 30s. Your chemistry
yeah,
changes. You have to adapt to what you're losing. Because as we grow, we're like a flower, we lose petals. So, if you don't have the right filtration systems and water and nutrients, you're not going to make it when it comes to living a peaceful, successful life.
right. So are you gluten free?
I'm not. And I do eat things sometimes that aren't. I mean, I love certain type of fries. I love potatoes. I don't know what it
Mmm.
is about potatoes,
I know
but
they're the best. Yeah.
I don't know why they're so good to me.
I
Some
know.
people
I
don't get
agree.
it, but I will eat the heck out some potatoes in
I
any form.
I
So,
know.
and I have to have ketchup if it's warm, fries and stuff. But, you
Absolutely.
know, once in a while, I won't divulge the fast food chain that once a year I go to.
Yeah.
And
Do you eat
there
sugar?
are times where I eat things that aren't as healthy, but it's all about balance.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions as we're nearing our time here. Um, so, well, as since we're talking about eating, give us an example of like what do you eat for breakfast? Don't tell me you skip it.
No, I don't, because
Okay.
from the time I wake up, I want to jump on conference calls and Zooms and get it
Okay.
and get at it. And you can't do that to yourself. You'll be demented when you're older and you have Alzheimer's if you use your brain without feeding it something.
Right.
So it depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
If I'm in a I'm healthy, I got to make a difference. It's war. I got to get it. Like I am now. It's a smoothie every morning.
Oh, okay.
Fresh fruit smoothie that I make myself with a blender because it tricks your mind. I use a powder that's organic. It's got everything in it.
Like a
Oh,
protein powder?
yeah, but it's all
Okay.
organic and it's got organic blueberries, broccoli, brown rice, quinoa,
Wow.
kale, strawberries, raspberries. It has everything in it. So it tells you it's really just fuel. Like if you put some premium gas in your car.
Yeah.
I do that most of the time, and I'd like to do it every day, but there are times where I need to decompress and kick it. And when that happens and I turn off, which I'm trying to do more, when I am able to take a vacation, I have mimosas and I have eggs and I like chilaquiles. I like the Mexican breakfast, chilaquiles.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I like fresh fruit, you know, watermelon, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries,
Wow.
and then when it's cold out, I might do some oatmeal, but mostly the smoothie thing because I'm not. Since I was a kid, you have to force me to have breakfast. I hated eating when I
Yeah.
first woke up. I'd be nauseous the first few hours of waking up. I feel like I just got back to the planet. I want
Exactly.
come down my throat. So the smoothie works out the best for me.
Yeah. And then what do you like pig out on? What would be a
I make my own pizzas now, but there's other pizza that I used to eat. Tacos are my favorite. Chips and salsa, guacamole, and fries and pizza. That's my go-tos.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
So
go-tos.
what are your go-tos musically? So when you just want to lay back and relax,
Who I
who do
listen
you
to?
who do you listen to?
I listen to Bob Marley.
Ah, very nice. Okay.
That's the most person I ever listen to when I want to be
Really?
peaceful. The Wailers, Bob Marley. I listen to every. He got hundreds of songs, so I listen to Bob Marley most of the time. Once in a
Okay.
while, I used to listen to Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra and the Carpenters, and I still listen to that when I want to be musically inspired. But when I want to chill, Sade, Bob Marley.
Yeah. Okay. And what about when you're like needing to get pumped up or
I
you
listen.
need
I
a
like Eminem. I like
Okay.
Eminem. Used to listen to him before I went on stage. Also,
Oh, really? Before you went on stage?
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
every
Okay.
time before I went on stage with my band, I used to listen to Eminem. When I get pumped up, sometimes I like those "We Are the Champions." I like
My friend, by
songs.
Queen. Right.
Yeah, I like
Right.
Queen. I like Metallica. AC/DC.
Oh, yeah, I worked with them, by the way.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Sepultura. I like all those old bands. I like who else do I like when I want to get hyped up? I mean, I like listening to my friends T.I., Lil Wayne, Drake. You know,
Yeah,
Mike Will is
absolutely.
one of my favorite producers and friends. So yeah,
Who?
Metro Boomin. Mike Will made it.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it just depends on what mood I'm in. You know,
Right.
somebody just
Um,
brought the question up, and I didn't.
yeah, what can you put that hold on one sec.
Just saw it.
Julie. From Julie.
Julie, what's up,
She's
Julie?
Molly, my
My
neck is
neck
sore
is
from
sore from
not
nodding so much. Of what you're saying. Okay, that's what's up, Julie. I appreciate it.
That's
Let me know if you have any questions or anything. That's
there's
important.
we've got a lot of people that are saying such wisdom, incredible. Your comments about
Anybody
what's
have
that?
any questions?
Everybody's just really kind of commenting on how cool everything you're saying is.
Molly, your comments about being able to see both sides of the music industry, artists versus the industry, are really refreshing for artists that have attached a bit of their
Saying
success
it.
and are looking to that next step or attained a bit of success.
Okay.
What advice do you have for them? For artists who've attained a little bit of success and they need to build their team and trust people they're working with, man, you just can't judge because
Yeah.
everybody can't go. I've gone through in 15 years at my last part of the journey. I went through over 100 interns and team members between 4 to 5 major teams. And
Wow.
my biggest advice is go with your gut on the person. Try to choose people who have pure hearts, which is because most people want to be famous, just want to do money in this business. But,
Absolutely.
seek out for good people. There's a lot of good people who want to do great things. The reason why I'm doing Earth Girl so much and pushing the Earth Girl movement is because everybody said Molly for years, oh, you want to help T.I. and Hustle Gang, 2 Chainz and Street Execs, Future and Free Bands, Wiz and, Taylor Gang. They got their gang, man. They got their team. And guys learn how to have their team and not take things personal. Then you don't want to work with this person.
That's a
Forgive
guy
me,
thing.
forgive
Yes.
me on your team,
Yes.
forgiving people and not judging them. But guys
Right.
don't, oh, well, he said this that one time. Okay, you don't care. They want to win. You gotta be, you gotta be a coach. And I wasn't the best coach at all.
Well,
Um,
but it's
I'm better now. My
you're
team
so
taught me.
you're so spot on about guys though. I mean, they can go fuck you, and
We'll
it's
be
cool,
done.
right? So for girls,
One time in
uh,
1999, one time in the fifth grade, she did this. Okay. Maybe she was on the, one time when I was in the ninth, maybe she was on her period. When you're in the period, you might be crazy too. Shit. Quit
so
judging.
how do you, so when you're working, when you're doing one of your camps or
Mhm.
whatever, how do you recommend that girls balance the importance of nurturing each other, and learning how to deal with the competition that sometimes exists between women in a healthy manner? Because men don't do, men, it's just bullshit between them. But like you said, with girls, it's very emotional.
You gotta
And
have other women and people around you that encourage you to support other women as well.
right,
You hanging out with girls talking, I've done it. We all done it.
right.
You see so and so, and then y'all gonna be sitting at lunch with her, and you just
Exactly.
talk shit about her. You sound crazy.
Exactly.
You gotta say we
Right.
gotta stop talking about people. That's
But
the
I,
one of me and my girlfriends. We started doing that shit. Look at so and so and sending her. Look at her Instagram, we
yeah.
really said, you know what, we're not doing that anymore.
Well, that's a really important issue because going back to what we were talking about with social media, and I just saw a documentary recently, and
And I don't have to leave at. You might cut off at whatever, but I'll
no,
stay
we're
and
fine.
hang and chat for however long.
Sure, we're
Yeah.
fine to chat.
I
Yeah.
want I want to be able to answer some questions if anybody's out there who really
Okay.
have a serious, because this. I wish I had something like this. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. I know. Um, and I was going to say, the in this documentary that I saw about social media, they were talking about the percentage of suicide rates that have gone up for young people right around the time that social media started, and how horrendous it is now that social media is. I mean, we've got these. There's influencers now. These social media influencers that kids are just believing
about
that
to
these
jump
people.
off buildings now because they ain't gonna make no money if this TikTok ain't really. If they're really gonna cut off TikTok, they might be in trouble if they
Yeah,
care about it that much.
yeah, I know, I
Oh,
know.
listen. I don't know if everyone in the world has thoughts. I would think if I was a therapist or psychiatrist that at some point as a human being, there are times where I think everybody has had to feel like I'm sick of being here.
I know.
I mean, I have a lot in my young life. I thought suicidal thoughts my whole young life. And
Yeah,
people are like, oh, wow. Okay, I said it. Said what I said and I meant it.
right.
But, when you talk about suicide and kids and what's going on, it's because most kids' parents who love them are working so hard to provide for all these things that they want their kids to have that either they had or didn't have. If they're not really spending the time with them to see where their heads are at. And their heads are in social media. And that means
Absolutely.
they're only seeing the finished product of what they think they want, or they're
Abs-
seeing a part of the story and they don't understand that adversity breeds character and it gives you the courage and the strength to deal with the success that you're asking for.
right. I know.
It's
Absolutely.
hard. You don't, you know what kept me from doing suicide?
What?
I don't know if it's just so smart. Me just, I have issues with regret.
Oh my God, yes, I get
I
it.
have issues with regret to the point where I've screwed up things trying to stop things that might happen. That might not even happen. Quit worrying about something that might not happen.
Right.
If you're in the middle of something that you're just so devastating to you, or someone left you, or someone doesn't like, or you just feel like you're a loser, or you just don't know where you're going, you're in an abusive relationship, or you just somebody died, or you just don't like being here, you just can't find peace, you don't have anywhere to live, or you just lost everything. What if, what if is what kept me from killing myself? What if this is all to give you something like when you break a bone? I'm real science. Yeah, I did really good in high school with science and had a scholarship for pre-med, part of it. And you learn about things when you break your bone, which I broke this bone once in high school.
Okay.
You break your bone, there's cartilage that builds over it. Here's the bone, it builds over it
Yes.
on both sides, and it is the strongest bone in your body. So in my mind, I thought maybe this stuff is here to make me stronger. And my grandmother would read me scriptures that said, when you go through hardship, it creates character. Adversity
Mm,
creates character. And character creates hope that you hope to get out of it. And that hope will never fail you. And I thought, what if I kill myself and get up to or get wherever, if it ain't a heaven, it's just a land and now my energy's out here and I'm sitting here and I get to see a big screen of what I could have been or would have been if I didn't punk out, or what might have happened to that person because I'm such a giving heart if I wasn't there for them. How many
yeah.
people's lives would be affected by me not being here. And my lack of selfishness is what kept me here because I felt like my sister and my friends, my family would be so affected that it stopped me. And I thought, damn, fuck it. What if I make it? What if all this is for a reason? I'm not going to punk out and chump out and kill myself.
Right.
I'm going to fight through this and go jump on a train, go to Highland Park where you were, or go somewhere else and be in a peaceful environment by myself and think about positive, happy things and learn a skill and dream. Yeah, that's
Go me.
one thing I told those young ladies. Molly, what? I went to broadcast journalism school. How did you get on NBC? I said an accident. And wouldn't have wanted to do this. Just do great with what's in front of you, I told her. Because if I had social media like you guys and I didn't have the time to, every plaque, I dreamt about having plaques on the wall. Got 30 on the way from the new studio, from Elton John to Whitney Houston to Katy Perry to Drake to, I got Drake and all these plaques, all these things I look at, I dreamt about them. In my little mind, I thought they were going to be me.
Well, they
When I was
still may be. You've
13.
got time.
Yeah, and if it's for me, like, I have a hard time sharing my own stuff now because I know what comes with it. I know the judgment that comes with putting yourself out. I know how my family and friends will be affected since I took so long to get here. I know, and I've helped so many people, it could be unpeaceful for me.
Yeah.
And I don't, I really have prayed my whole life that if I have to be famous, that I don't want to zone out and do things that are going to hurt myself because I'm trying to escape, that I can have some peace in my life. So, yeah, suicide is a crazy thing. I feel bad for people who do it because I really feel like Robin Williams with his funny fucking stuff. I feel like he's probably up there like, son of a bitch, I was just having a bad day.
Exactly.
You're probably on the
Yes.
wrong day, spirit. Listen to that wrong spirit on the wrong day. And even if
Yes.
it was a long period of you thinking that way, damn, that was one sucky month out of my whole life and I blew it. And I wish I always thought, if I kill myself, I'll probably get up there and be like, damn, so all these people waiting to be born, waiting for you to have sex to just jump into you, fight to be born. Like when you see the sperm fighting, like, man, these people up here fighting to get down there. Maybe you have one chance. Maybe this is your one chance to show if your vibration, your energy reciprocates other good energy. Maybe that's the whole plan here. For you not to
Yeah.
be afraid instead of being fearful and moving in fear and accusing others and judging others. Maybe you choose when it's hard to take the high road because you don't know what that person is going through. I've been hurt by a
Right.
lot of people. And then when I pull it back and I go, nobody can hurt you. You choose to allow things that other people do to hurt you or you don't. It's called free will. You
It's
choose to
thought.
think of it
It's
this way or that way. I think
yeah.
of it as if somebody's done something to hurt me or they think I'm a horrible person and everything I've done, on paper and what people think, I try to be the do unto others the most as I can. That's their thing. That have nothing to do with me. That's their
R-
fear. That's their
right.
that's their desperateness. That's their lack of money. That's their lack of vision. That's their
Yeah.
lack of hope. That's not my problem.
And
But
this in
I would treat it with empathy and
right. See,
the difference. Taking the high road. Then it doesn't hurt you anymore and then it calms the storm.
the storm. Yeah. See, but this is incredible insight that you have that I think young people really, really need. I think that they need to be taught how to deal with their thoughts. And it's not taught in school. It's not,
I used to live. Every time I got arrested as a teenager, I have a friend Euclid, and he's probably watching. He was such a good person. He didn't do any of the stuff, crazy stuff that I did because he didn't. Yeah, he just has the best. He was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
me, I was a little like, okay, this is what I've seen. I'm gonna just be mischievous and whatever. And I think every time I got in trouble, I used to go to the bookstore and sit in the self help aisle as a teenager. 13, 14, 15, I would go to the bookstore and read everything positive I could about How to Win Friends and Influence People, If I Ruled
Really?
the World, all the Tony Robbins stuff, all the Deepak Chopra stuff. I read every freaking, it could be Asking It Is Given. It could be Christian books. It could be it could be, I read the Quran. I read every kind of the Tao. I read I mean, I lived before we have videos. I lived reading Wayne Dyer. I
Oh,
lived
wow.
reading positive things. And I think if I didn't have, I still, when I get stressed out, I'll listen to Wayne Dyer going to bed. I'll Google Wayne Dyer videos or
Hmm.
something positive that talks about how you have the ability to think about yourself in a kind way and not be so hard on yourself
Right.
and not to judge other people and not to take it personally and to be adaptable and to be flexible and to understand that, wow, the things that I'm doing now, most people change their occupations 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Why? And how would any teenager or anybody in their 20s or 30s be upset if they didn't choose? There are very few people in the world that choose careers and that's their path. Doctor,
R-
Mount
exactly.
There's very few things like that. So if
Mm-hmm.
everybody's changed their occupations that many times, maybe tap into the things as a kid you just kind of were good at. Because the people I know who are successful in fashion, wow, that's weird. I used to make doll clothes for my dolls, or oh, I cook. I used to make.
Right.
I mean, hey, what is money? I used to count my money and know my like. What is it that you love? That's my.
Yeah.
You don't know how long we're gonna be here. It's fires, it's floods, it's tornadoes, it's hurricanes, it's
Ugh.
war. There's viruses. There's you know civil unrest. Why are we worried about getting to it or caring what anybody thinks?
Yeah.
You know.
Because we're entrenched in social media. I'm telling you, I just think
Man, people think I'm on it. I go on it to inspire.
you
That's
do,
it. And I put it.
but
I don't be on that thing.
you do, but young people,
It's an addiction.
it's yeah, yeah, it's
That's
definitely.
what Earth Girl is about. Turning off.
Let's see, we've got something up here from young people seem to have trouble with accepting themselves as they are. What's good advice to help them rethink that shortcoming?
They have trouble with accepting themselves as they are.
As they are.
I think like eh, I don't think they should accept themselves as they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should not be hard on themselves.
Right.
But when you're young, you should explore. You should evolve. Now, when you're saying accept them as they are, you're talking about skin color, you're talking about where I live. I used to be embarrassed to be from North Chicago and Waukegan when I met people from Lake Forest and Highland Park.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I used to be embarrassed because we were blue collar, there
Oh,
was
right.
violence,
Yep.
black people didn't have any businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a place that you were proud of, but now I am. I'm proud of it now because it gave me the strength and it gave me something. I see a lot of people who grew up wealthy from those places that try to hitch their trains to everyone's wagon because they got all this trust fund money, whatever. But they don't have nothing to live for.
Right.
So for me, uh, good advice for overcoming your shortcomings: don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Everything that's great takes time. Every greatest rapper you look at, man, I remember when Kanye was jumping up on tables and they were laughing at him at the label.
Oh my God.
I remember people. I met Young Thug 7 years ago. He's never gonna make it. Okay, I thought he would. And
Well,
people don't realize it took him 7 years to get to where he is. But before that, he had stuff going on. J. Cole, we just got a Grammy with the Return of the Dreamers Camp, ROTD3. Shout out to Jermaine and the whole Dreamville family, Matt and MK and Eve and everybody. But 10 years ago, they blessed us to help have me and Groove co-executive produce Friday Night Lights. That was 10 years ago.
wow.
It was 10 years ago, and this kid
Yeah.
was patient.
You
So
know,
and my advice is Show them other people who, like me, who used to be a screw up, and say, you'll get through it. Don't be in the middle of what you're in the middle of. Whatever you did, don't be in the middle of it every day. Like, damn, I'm sitting here thinking, dang, am I going to catch a case? You got an attorney. Am I going to catch a case? My case would just keep getting, you got a good attorney. They keep, you know, getting it flipped to a later date. And then finally you go to court or you don't and you figure it out. But there were times where I sat in that, I can't believe I did this stupid shit. I can't believe I'm such an idiot. And I had to learn how to go, I'm in trouble all the time. This too shall pass. And I know I'm an idiot. I'm going to try to do better next time. If I got
Right.
to get rid of my friends because they're helping me with the shortcomings, because they're the past, if I want to be the future, I can come back and get them when I'm great. But most of the people that you hear these little naughty things to do, let's get in this car. It's probably stolen. Let's sell these drugs to get these tennis shoes. Or even dumber stuff like, hey, let's try, let's go and get in the car with somebody who's drinking, whatever it is. Or I got in the car drinking as a teenager, whatever you did, not saying I did because I never had. But if it's something that you do that is your shortcoming, you screwed up, this too shall pass. And just
Yeah.
forgive yourself and move on and do great. Next time you hear something in your head or you want to snap, think about it. Really, that goes back to my advice is go back to training your brain and your thoughts because you are your thoughts. It sounds so dumb and cliche. You
No,
don't create your world. You are your thoughts. Your world is your thoughts. So you
but
think
I think you're
this
right.
person, you don't miss that person if you think about him every day. If you think
Yeah,
about, man, I got to get to do what I got to do because that person's busy. Let me get busy. Maybe you'll make something of yourself and you'll meet that person at a crossroads.
right.
Everything happened for a reason, even your dumb shortcomings.
Yeah, it is. It's so true. So, when we're talking about this, I'm curious when EarthGirl has been able to, be prior to COVID, when you've been able to run EarthGirl, the camp, and you mentioned something about Earthy for guys. I'm just curious for the girls, what do you hear as, what do the girls talk about as being an obstacle for them as far as getting ahead in life? Is there anything
So
in
many.
particular?
There's
What
so
you, s-
many.
yeah,
I think overcoming the way that they think about themselves is number one.
yes,
I have to dress this way. Everybody
yep,
dresses this way. I have to
absolutely.
speak this way. I have to let someone do this for me because I'm a girl. And there's no girls who've done that before. I never really viewed, I was on the Grammy panel. This is before I was Grammy nominated. And they're like, you're the only one who's ever been on the panel who didn't have a Grammy or wasn't nominated. And I was like, everybody here is here to hear me. That's why I'm here. Y'all know that these people want to hear the truth. But one of the girls asked, as a female, how did you overcome thinking about yourself as a female and being in this business? And if there weren't that many, I said, I never looked at myself like a female.
Yeah.
That wasn't a title I put
Mm.
on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a gender. I was Melissa, and then I was Molly.
Right.
I'm Melissa Molly. I might be like Diddy and change that shit again. But I said my answer was I never saw myself as that. But my dad always said you could do anything, anything. If a boy could do it, you could do it. Go beat up that boy over there. By the way, you know what I mean?
Yes. But that's fantastic because that's the other side of what I was talking about with work. We kind of grow up with learned behavior, and if you get validation and recognition as a child growing up, it is going to build a confident adult. So
You know
some
what? I can't imagine. I don't think I would be alive if my dad was
wow.
so tough. I don't think physically I'd still be here. I definitely wouldn't with the stuff that I've gone through. If
Wow.
I didn't have my dad be so tough on me and teach me, you could do anything. Don't you limit yourself. So, but if you don't have that person that hasn't embedded that in you since you were a child, You have to find it yourself and give it to your own damn self. You
Yeah.
have to find the, I don't care. I'm okay. If, and one of the things they brought up is, sexual harassment and how, how hard that part is. I never had that because you will have your teeth knocked out and my energy is strong. So
Yeah.
nobody tried me like that. And if they did
Mm-hmm.
try me, I will put them where they needed to be. It's hard for most girls to say no if there's a man in a higher position that can help them to say no to sexual advances and stuff. That's hard for most women. And I have a lot of women. I when I got that question, I called a lot of women executives that I knew. Said, "Did you ever compromise yourself?" And they said yes. And I hate it because I have to see this bastard in a meeting. Like now, I see him.
Ugh.
It's 20 years later. You know, most of them said yes, and I wasn't
Ugh.
surprised because me, as a strong woman, had to learn how to not get violent because I was taught to be violent if somebody come at you the wrong way.
Right.
Women aren't taught any skills on how to deal. So that's one of the things that they talk about a lot. And I said, well, if an engineer, every engineer or producer that you meet is hitting on you, you might want to learn how to make beats yourself. It's part of
Right.
the reason I learned how to cut my own vocals and do my own engineering because every time I asked somebody to do it, they act like they was giving me life. They
Oh,
act like they owed me. Oh, I owe them the world for recording me, and it's a click. It's like a damn video.
yeah.
So no, it ain't. I'm not talking about mixers and masters. I'm talking about recording your own vocals and stuff like that. Sometimes in life, you just have to do it yourself. Then that's my advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might take longer, which that did for me. It took me a long time. But that's so there was a question that was up a second ago that that's
Let's see. Let's see.
oh, how powerful is envisioning your future, being able to put it out there in the universe and working towards that. I said it earlier. I would not be successful if I had social media as a person from my teens to my early 20s because all I did in my spare time was literally close my eyes and think about the kind of house that I want, the kind of car that I want.
Wow.
Yes, and that's material stuff. The kind I wanted records on the wall. I wanted a place where I could garden, my own garden. I wanted a pool so I could be peaceful. I would envision myself in the pool. I would envision myself sitting at a piano for hours. I would go to bed every night and envision I would envision myself on stage before I started touring with my band. I envisioned
Wow.
myself doing the whole entire hour long for an hour. Envisioned myself doing the whole song. Played in my head what I was gonna wear, how I was gonna act, how I was gonna move. And very thought out. People who are successful think. They're thinkers. And they
Right.
take the time to envision. And vision boards are great. Vision books are great. You know, all that stuff is great. I did all that.
Fantastic. My goodness. So, when are you going to come back to Chicago? we
You
need we
gotta
need
come.
you here.
I know. Well, I have to go to give a friend something. Two friends. Um, I had somebody who believed in me when I was young and needed money, and he is gifting and granting people money to be successful, and he did that for me 20 years ago, 18 to 20 years ago. So I got to come and bring him a gift. Hopefully that'll be in the spring because I think he's out in Lake Geneva in the winter time. But I try to come back. One of my biggest clients on the ad agency side is Constellation Brands. So I love to come and visit them because they're more like a family than they are a client. So I like to visit them and I like to try to go home, see my family. I don't do it after my grandmother passed and a lot of my friends have moved on. Um, I don't do it as much as I want to, but I have a very large family and I miss them very much in
Yeah.
Chicago, Waukegan, North Chicago, Bernie. those different areas. So I'm hoping soon. This COVID thing, you don't know,
I know. I mean, do you think that you would ever do an Earth Girl camp here in Chicago? Because, boy, it would go
I'm
over
doing
really
one.
well.
I'm doing one. We're talking about dates for 2021, 22.
Oh,
My whole
great.
life is planned, by the way, a year to 2 years in advance. So
Oh,
things that everybody's seeing me do now are things that I planned with corporations and brands and people who believe in me. Because corporate wide, you get your budget right now in October. The budget is here for next year,
right.
2021. So
You got to
I
be
plan on taking the camp around the country, and Chicago is one out of the 5 cities that would bring
great.
me to because I have to go home and help. And that was my dream, to come home and help. And shout out to Chance the rapper. You listen to his We Go High song after he mentions Diddy, he mentions Comfy Like Molly's Couch. And that's the blessed thing about this new StoneWood Manor. For 15 years, my partner and I, in our old space, created a place for people to come and have a peaceful vibe. We really help control the energy there because it's impossible to be creative without a great energy. So we're taking that energy now and we're putting it in a place where our friends who are successful and people that we do believe in who are on the rise can go and be peaceful. And that's what Stonewood Manor is. So I'm excited to, you know, I'm excited that people like Chance and you know, Ray Sremmurd and Mike Will and people, Metro Boomin, friends that I've worked with are appreciative of what we bring when it comes to creating a space for creatives. So I'm super excited. So between Stonewood, we'll do the last of the 5 city tour. We'll end it at the Manor here, and it'll be the official grand opening of it. So that'll be fun. I would love for you to
S-
come out for that.
I would love it. So, are you actually looking for artists or
No,
a roster for Stonewood?
no, no,
Okay, okay.
no, I'm not. I have a team of people that, because of COVID, everything went crazy,
Yeah,
including a lot of producers and artists. And right now, I'm really focused on being peaceful. I've done a
yeah.
lot. I've helped a lot of people. I think it's my time, and I deserve
You
to have
do.
self-care and be creative. So there are some artists that I'm working with now, um, that I really believe in. And, there's a lot of people who want me to work with them. But I think if something came along, like how Drake came along for Wayne, and Wayne could still
Yeah.
do his music and still be peaceful, like Ty Dolla Sign did for Wiz, like, you know, it's not a lot of people who are artists like me and producers that really can be successful helping someone else unless they really put their all behind that person, unless that person is like them. Then it's like,
Yes.
okay, we could tie our middle legs together and go. That's the artist that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The person who's going to get there anyway. It just needs somebody trusted who cares. And the person who's not impatient and wants to be famous right away. If that came along from my mouth to God's ears, I'd see it and go, it's the person.
Yeah.
I actually do have a couple people I believe are that. And I hope that, they continue to feel the same way about me. And I'm excited about their projects right now.
S- So, do you think that before 2021 we'll hear some music from you?
I don't know. I know I'm going to hear it from me because I'm going to be making it. I hope so because
We do too.
I feel like, and I actually am taking this next October, November, December to cut out 50% of the things that I've been doing with brands and the agency to focus on being creative. So when
Great.
I say I don't know, I have hope.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to that for sure.
This is so
That.
awesome. I'm so grateful for your platform.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
grateful. And I have a gift for you too.
You do.
Yep.
What is it?
It's a small little scholarship fund just to get someone, kind of like a contest that you might want to do. to get
Really?
someone a computer or a laptop or a phone, something
Oh,
that could
that would
keep
be
them in
fantastic.
business, whatever their business is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether they do
Thank you.
graphic design or music or I don't know, one of those kind of things.
Yeah, thank you so much. We
Yeah,
will
it's
talk we will
important.
t- we'll talk about that further because that is very generous and thoughtful.
Well, I had a
And
friend who gave me a computer, and I don't know if he knew. I think he knew because he loves me, but as a friend, he gave me this computer when I needed it the most. And I was creating music, and I needed that in the studio. And you need things. Sometimes you're like, I don't even have a
yeah,
computer, and I want to do this.
I
You
know.
know, I'm
I
not talking
know.
about a computer to get on social media. I'm talking about something where you can get on and if you want to be a writer,
Create
if you want to
yeah,
learn
create
about
something.
finance as a tool to sharpen your skills because skills pay the bills.
Skills pay the bills, boy, do they.
So that's
Yeah.
that's a gift that I want to
Wow.
share with you
Thank
and
you so
whoever
much.
that person is that you know shows that they are going to use it to get great.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, I'm already thinking of a contest with youth,
Oh,
which would
nice.
be a nice way of doing that.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
very
Well, I'm
thoughtful.
grateful for what you're doing in my city. I wish I could spend all my time doing what you do.
I wish you could
Um,
be here.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Coming back home. I've always planned on having a home uh, in the Chicagoland area and coming back home. So, I'm the type of person who, by the time I was 25, I always lived between two cities anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna see me when it's brick and the hawk is out. No, ma'am.
Yeah,
When
I
it's
know.
freezing, and you
I
probably
know.
won't see me in the heat of the summer either. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping to God that I can come back and create a space there or create.
That that would be
That's well, I have a whole
incredible.
plan to do it. I have a plan to
Well,
do it, and
count me in. I'll help in any way I can.
well,
It
good.
would
Well, maybe you
just
can help me run it. Y'all hear her?
you
She said
got
she
it.
wants to help with it.
I've already got
Yeah.
tons and tons of young kids that would go crazy.
Well, and
So,
they can have it in the summers and during the day, and
yep.
I'm coming back to help. I had to get
Good.
all this knowledge to be able to bring my friends who I know out in the world to come back and help. Like you see Big Sean and you know Royce to 5 9, what they're doing to help their communities, and Eminem in Detroit. I really want to be that in Chicago, and I've always wanted to. That's why I really dove off to New York and other parts of the world. So I thought I'd bring back the music industry in 5 years. When I was 22, I'm like, I'm gonna go to New York and bring this back in 5 years.
But you've sort of done that in Atlanta, though.
I have, and I've been blessed to be able to have that bridge to Chance and God rest Juice World's soul and Lil
Yeah.
Bibby and G Herbo and you know I love Selena Johnson. We haven't been able to work, but I try to help as many people as I can. That's from the city that I'm from. And I love Queen Key. It's a lot of little folks out there that are killing it, in their own way. That I like to uplift and
You
bring light.
do.
Yeah.
You do. You are an amazing, amazing woman.
Thanks.
Just
I'm so
amazing.
grateful for you and your energy. I really needed this combo. You know, it's nice to
Thank
hear
you.
myself say these things. You used to, when you introduce me, will you send me that? When you introduce me, I'm like, dang, I really did that.
I'd be
You really
happy
did
to.
that many
You
things.
listen, I've done a lot of live streams with entertainment industry people, and I'm like, Jesus, man, this is going to be long-winded. I got to let everybody know to just hold on a second and let me finish
People
this.
say,
But
one woman said, "Oh my God, Mally, how do you do all these things?" Like she was a little, and I was like, I know. You had to do all these things as a kid. My dad had us doing too much. So for me, the cooking thing came about because people always ask. I always cooked. My dad gave us lessons. It was our thing. We had to cook a lot, and I made my own lunch and did everything. I liked it. So when I got to Atlanta, even before Atlanta, I had a studio in New York, had my space in Chicago way back when I was younger. I always cook for my family and I cook for everyone. So when there's nothing open late night and you evolve to this person in the music industry, in the film world, you're cooking for Bad
Right.
Santa or Carly Simon or Drake or Lenny
Wow.
Kravitz, and they're tweeting you and they're taking pictures. And Neo, when he becomes a vegan, is tweeting me, and Metro Boomin and all the famous producers and artists. And and because I care, I started feeding people in the press 15 years ago because I cared about their hearts because they share
Wow.
stories of people and people don't remember who they are. So I had a heart for that. So I became very popular. I never wanted to be on NBC in the mornings. It was something that was meant for me to learn how to talk live and filter
Yeah.
myself because I never filtered myself. And then the OWN network came for Flex and Shanice and cooking on the OWN network for them and hanging out. And then, A&E's Born This Way because I was helping a family out there and John Tucker. So
God.
my heart in me helping and cooking for people has created a brand because I'm also a businesswoman. If
Yeah.
I see somebody else doing what I'm doing, making money, you better believe I'm gonna be saying, how much do they make to do it? I think I feel like I should be doing that too right
Yeah.
now.
Absolutely.
I know my worth.
Yeah,
That's one thing you gotta do.
yeah.
Don't be like, I'm CEO at 21. No, you're not. You don't understand what a CEO does.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta
Yeah.
have, it's like wine. If you have a nice bottle of wine, it took a very long time. Nice bottle of tequila, bourbon took a long time to sit in that barrel. That's the best one,
Right.
the most expensive ones. And that's because it took time. So take your
Yeah.
time. That's my advice. Take your time. That's my last advice.
All
Take your
right.
time.
All right. Wonderful. Well, that's tough advice
I'm
for
gonna
young
miss you.
people. I mean, me
I could talk to
too.
you all night.
Call me over the weekend.
I will. We're gonna have our talk.
I I know, me too. No, definitely. This has just been such a delight. I'm just so happy and pleased.
Me too.
And you are so easy to talk to, and
Thank
you look so comfortable right now and
you. I'm
laid
so
back. You
comfortable.
just need a dog or something. Do you have a
Okay,
pet?
well, here you go. Say hi,
No
Mom.
wonder. Hi,
Say hi.
sweetheart.
He's so
Aw.
sweet and say hello. He said he knows he's
Hi.
here. Say hi to him. Say
Hi,
hi, Juan.
sweetie.
Say hi,
What's
Juan.
his name? Hi,
Juan.
Juan. Hi, Juan. Juan, what's up? Hi, Juan. You got to do the high voice. Hi,
Yeah.
Juan.
You see her?
Hi,
She's looking for you.
Juan.
You
What
see
you
her?
doing?
Say hi.
You got the coolest mom in the world. Yeah.
He's like,
Hi,
hey,
how
girl.
are you?
Oh, he
What's
watches TV. He knows his name.
Yeah, Juan, what's life like over there, huh? I bet you eat really well.
Oh, he
Yeah.
does. And he's spoiled. This one, I made him some Wagyu beef with with some, and he looked at it tonight like, "Nah, I'm not roasted. Can I get roasted chicken? I make it in his organic food. He
Oh my.
usually is not sitting right here next to me because he is jealous of whoever. If I go live on
Oh.
Instagram, bam, he starts sniffing around, jumping on me, scratching.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
hysterical.
he's jealous. He was chill. I'm thankful. This good
Ah.
boy, this good
Oh,
spirit.
Juan. Thank you. I'm not going to take her away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday to you too. Thank you so much again, Molly. This has just been amazing. And I think that all of the artists that you work with are so lucky to have you because it just doesn't exist in the music industry. You are one of a
I,
kind.
I think some of them get it, and some of them are still trying. It's a hard time in the world.
I
If I
know.
would say anything to anyone who works with me or had an opportunity to work with me, being grateful will keep you with someone for life who's good, who's a good person like me. But
Yeah.
when you come from that person hasn't done enough, or it's about me, or you're just so desperate for money or things, and you're looking for one person or one label or one whatever to make you as an artist, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I believe there are some very grateful people on my team, and for that, I'm grateful. And
That's fantastic.
yes, I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
You're lucky, and the team is lucky to have you too. I mean, it goes both ways, really.
Really, I'm
So,
grateful for my team, and and my sister, and my sister's working with me now again. She got me
Oh,
to
that's cool.
Atlanta. My cousin Ronzel. I'm taking the Master P route, working with my family a lot now, which I'm excited about. But also, I have some really great people who are confidants and friends, and also working on my ad side with the agency.
Mm-hmm.
My agency has been, we've had brands like Constellation Brands for 10 years.
Wow.
To have a relationship and to be partners with companies like Constellation Brands and Sundial and Dove and Shea Moisture, and you know, it's really a dream come true. Coca-Cola Company with Smart Water and Sprite, some of the things that we've done and the people that we've done things with. Shout out to James Cuthbert, who created the Obey Your Verse, the cans that you saw Drake and J. Cole and Biggie and
Yeah.
Tupac on. To be able to work on projects like that has been a blessing. And that team for EarthGirl, Joe, Lisa, you know, all the people who really Noni, my sister, the people who are there selling. There's so many people. Now I'm shouting out people. There's a million more. Don't be mad if I'm shouting. But it really is about teamwork and working well as a team. And
Yeah.
EarthGirl wouldn't happen if there wasn't a community of people who understood we need to change this world. And it starts with women because everybody comes from women. And if we can have our heads together and support and love each other, everyone can. We got to shift this negative thinking and judgment and hate
I
that's
know.
really happening. Judgy, selfish hate, greed, all this stuff because our planet is on fire for a reason. You
Yep.
don't think global warming is happening and it'll get cooler? Come on,
No.
it ain't getting cooler.
No, they were just talking about in Greenland or whatever, the
Yes,
ice
yes,
the
yeah.
ice is melting like crazy. It's no, there's it's pretty scary.
For me, I'm really where my heart is. It's about animals,
Me too.
about
I'm an animal
feeding.
fanatic.
I mean, the elephants that are abused. There's over
Oh,
100,000 have been killed since this administration pulled the ivory ban. Over 100,000, probably 200,000.
I
But
know.
the kids aren't going to have any animals to see unless they're behind a cage, and that's not fair.
No, I
Not fair
know.
to our earth. Not fair to our kids to leave them a planet that's just sucked dry. Everybody's afraid of the virus. Humans are the virus to the planet. And if we
Yep.
don't make a conscious effort to care about the earth and use power from the sun, versus power from, you know,
Right. Well, we've got to get a president though that wants to do all that, and we don't have one yet. So,
well, I don't even think it's just about that. I think we all have to come together and say,
yeah.
we want to support the people who are putting solar panels out and bring awareness and show you how you can have a cheaper light bill and air conditioning bill and, change. We got to change it. If
Yeah.
the person in power can't do it, the people can. And I believe
It's
in
true.
people still. And I don't
Power to the
believe
people.
Yeah, and I don't believe it's an evil world. And I don't think it's a terrible place. And I don't think it's over for us. I think in life, you look at the days of Hoover, look at Hitler, look at all
Yeah.
these times. It just shines a light on what's good and it brings light to people who are good. And unfortunately, news that is from where you can view it from the phone, the TV, wherever. It's not fun to always watch good news because people who program good news are corny. It's some corny program. You need to get some good programmers on some good programming. I think we gotta make
Exactly.
a difference. We gotta get some good programming. What you think, Juan? You think you're gonna make
Juan,
a
do
difference?
you think we need you to host a show for us really badly? Hi, Juan. What's up? Yeah, what's up, dude? Hi, Juan. Would you like to host a new show because there's too much corny crap out there? Oops, we lost her. She's gone. I'm so down. Well, maybe she'll pop back on. Oh my goodness. Well, we went way past what we said we were going to do, but it has been phenomenal. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Hope you got a lot out of this as well. Please remember to follow us on. Oh, wait, Molly's popping back in. Hold on. And she's back.
I told you he doesn't like it. He starts to get jealous. He hit the button. He came down and hit the button and said, "Hey, this is what they did." He says enough of
He's
that.
he's like Clive Davis and Tommy Mottola. It's over.
It's over.
Boom.
Look at him.
He is the sweet. Aw, Juan,
He
you've got a
actually has
good
been
life.
like this. He's
You
been
know, I'd like to just say one quick funny story because since you're holding Juan, but you know, in my career in the music industry, my dear friend was
holding him. He's sitting up and chilling.
which oh okay. All
Look,
right.
look at his demeanor. He just dude. He sits here like, what's up? You see? Did you watch him fall down?
Yes,
Yeah, he's like,
he's ah. I just want to mention a cool thing about an animal. My dear friend is Cher's tour accountant. And so whenever he comes through Chicago, I always hang out backstage with him. And he was going through all of his information, and somebody came in and said, "I need to go to Petco." And so he gave him, petty cash to go to Petco. And I said, "Oh, what's going on with Petco? I mean, that's like a weird thing to need for a show, big show for Sherry." He goes, "Oh, she adopted a cat that was running around in the parking lot at the stadium." And we were just got into this big conversation. She took the cat. Cat was on the entire tour with her.
wait,
And
who
then
is this?
Cher.
There?
Yeah.
I can
Isn't
see
that
that.
isn't that the best? And then after the tour was over, she had a huge party, and the cat was like at the party and having a blast. And I was saying to my friend Bill, man, it's got to be pretty cool to be an animal living with a celebrity because they've
Let
got
me
this
tell
huge.
you, this man, this young man here, Juan,
Look
from the
at
time he was 14 weeks old. First love was Whitney Houston's dog.
Oh,
I got emotional. I'm sorry. That was your girlfriend.
oh, I'm sorry,
Um,
Juan.
and then just growing up a rock star in the studios with all the famous people. I mean, one time he has a real personality. I'm telling you, I tried to adopt a cat. He went crazy,
Oh,
like
really?
a rabbit who's trying to kill the thing.
No,
He's
you're his.
He's
Yeah.
look. He's jealous. He's really like, get off the phone. He was jealous. When he met Lenny Kravitz, we did Lenny Kravitz' whole strut record. Miguel, our chief engineer, he was growling at him like, I don't care who you think you are. And he's never growled at anybody. He just didn't like that everybody was worshiping Lenny. I think,
Oh,
yeah.
God. That is the best. What a sweetheart. Does he sleep with you?
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
And
yeah.
takes showers too, don't he?
Aw, you
Yeah,
are wonderful.
he's a good boy.
That's the other thing. People need pets.
Well, there's so many right now, guys. And if you're still watching, um,
Uh,
Adopt a
uh,
Pet,
yeah.
Petco has adoption. You can look online. There's so many since COVID. There's so many dogs that are being put down and that have lost their elder. Sorry, want to know this is he's getting emotional, guys. He's like, why have you
Aw.
talk about this? There's so many dogs that have lost their family members since COVID that they're in.
I know.
I'm crazy. I look on all the time. I look on to see
I
what
know.
need.
I know. So, you know what?
He will be. I tried it. I tried to foster the
Yeah.
animals. He's like, no, ma'am.
No,
Look at look.
he
He's like,
will,
I want to hear it. You
you are
don't
his. He will not let anyone else have you. Nope.
even want to talk about it, do you, Juan? I really raised him like a human.
No, I love it.
Ridiculous. I'll tell you.
Juan, you rock.
Wait, say it again.
Juan, you rock.
You know?
Yeah, you do. Juan, what is it? Go get a toy. Go get a
Lord.
toy. Go get a toy and bring it to us. Go get your toy.
Wait, hold on. Juan. Oh, he's
Juan,
like, hold on. I got an itch. Juan, do you want to get your baby?
go get your baby.
Where's your baby?
Juan, go get your baby.
Huh?
Go get your baby.
Listen, do you look comfortable? What if I made you get up and get something? He's one dog that will do it when he feels like it. So like reminds me of somebody I know.
Then he's part cat.
Oh, he was raised by a cat.
Oh, There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Well, this has been awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
we have to say goodbye, but we can talk
Yeah.
over the weekend.
We'll
We
talk
should
over
do
the.
this. We should do more often.
I'd love to. I would love
Yeah.
to. We come up with some topics that we'll do each time and
I
get some
think
more.
what we'll do is we'll ask everybody, what do you guys want to hear? What do you want to talk about?
Yes.
And then that'll be the
Absolutely.
topics, because for me, right now, I'm here to inspire.
And you
I
do.
really ask the universe, like, God, when people say, can you believe what's happening right now? Yeah, I prepared myself. My parents, what I went through having interracial parents who are still married for 51 years, prepared me for the civil unrest. What I went through wanting to have nice things and working hard as a kid to figure out how to get them, or doing what I did to get what I needed, prepared me. The trouble
Yeah.
that I got into prepared me. People who've hurt me in my years because they were in fear or they had something going on with them prepared me not to take things personally. So, yeah, I'm pretty much built for these times, you
Well,
know.
I think you know what would be really cool, pardon me, is for us to talk to excuse me, is to promote and set up a conversation like this about the skills needed cognitively with behavior and thought process with young people because the world is frightening for them and they're
I would
not
like to
get
do a Zoom with that, like get them all on here.
yes.
What I like to do is I'd like you to find six, three that are hurting, three that have overcome and are doing something where they think they just need a couple hands up to get
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And then we can all have a combo that'll really bless a lot of people. Because if somebody says to me, well, I saw my brother get shot in the head, and I've been abused my whole life, and my teachers kicked me out of the class just because I be speaking out, or my mom calls the police on me, and
Right.
all this.
Yeah.
It ain't
I,
easy.
it's not easy and I think it's a
Work,
really
hard
it's
work to put your pride aside and let people talk to you who are adults any old stupid way, and in your head you're laughing, going, "Okay, no problem." Out loud, you're saying, "Yes, ma'am." In your head, you can go, "She doesn't get it.
right.
You should shut up."
Mhm.
That'll help you out in life.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I've got my brain is spinning with ideas, so definitely
Well,
I
let's do this more.
I'd
Definitely
love
let's
to
do
do it.
something over the holidays, because that becomes depressing time for people, you know.
Definitely.
And we're having to
Absolutely.
stay inside, and they say there's going to be a second wave of COVID. We can have some conversation with some kids on how to be at home. Like I
Yeah.
said, reading. How about,
Reading,
let's cut out saying reading. How about retaining?
retaining. I like
Retaining
retaining.
information that helps you be better, that helps you be great, that helps you be peaceful, that helps you do fun things that you like, that helps you overcome your past, that helps you be mindful of others, that helps you be empathetic for other people and be flexible and be adaptable and understand that where you are is not where you have to be. You don't got to
Yeah.
stay there. You changed me. It took me this many years to get to here. I thought it was going to take this at 18. So it's going to be right
Yeah.
away. Some of the things I
Exact.
wanted in high school, junior high, I'm just now achieving.
And that's what's really important, I think, for young people to hear because I don't think they're hearing that.
No, they're hearing balling all out. Everybody ain't Justin Bieber. Everybody ain't Justin Bieber. When I first met Justin Bieber, I said, "Who in the hell is on drugs?" I thought it was a drummer from Seven Dust because it sounded so great. I'm like, this little boy, and then I go in the pool table. He'd beat all the adults on the pool table. Then I go outside, he beat everybody at basketball. This little kid is beating everybody at everything. Everybody ain't young and make it and get rich when you're young. Yeah, like you say, don't pocket watch people. Well, they have this. Don't time watch. You have your time if you do the work. You
Yeah.
get skills take time. Skills pay bills. It
I
takes
know.
time.
I love the skills pay bills thing because
You know?
that's just huge.
You're a good boy.
Aw,
We're gonna
wow.
have
What
movie night
what
tomorrow night.
what are Juan's skills, by the way?
Juan, skills, come on, come on. She wants to know your skills. Come
Let's
on,
see,
he's gonna
Juan.
show you one. He's gonna lamp right up here.
Oh, Juan.
Yeah, he wants to
Aw.
be here. You know, come up here by your mom. Come over here. Come here,
Come on, Juan.
here, buddy.
Come on, Juanie.
Well, he hears you now, so he's like, huh?
Hi, Juan. What's up? Hi,
His skills
Juan.
are driving me crazy lately because he's 15
Aw.
and demented. So
Aw.
he does a lot of whining, which he didn't do all the time. A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of nagging for things. I can't say the word.
Right. Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
but he's also a peace giver, and he knows, you know, he knows after I do. He's the first thing that I go to is Juan after I do events. Like sometimes I do events where there's 1,000 people, and I probably know 500. So I have to give everybody
Wow.
eye contact and try to make everybody feel special, and it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, EarthGirl, we had 3,800 girls in a 8-day period, and I tried to give as much to everyone. And
Oh, wow.
you know, yeah, I lost my voice. Like if you see the video on my page from EarthGirl that Amazon shot,
Yeah.
I was talking, and it's kind of like how my voice is a little bit scratchy now, but it was gone because I really wanted to share and give. Here's one of his skills: climbing up the couch like a cat. He's the cat. And
He's walking around like, where the fuck is the bed? That's all I want to do right now is get in bed.
yeah, you know. Being a Pete, like if you do, you know, for those we talked about adopting dogs, but you know, most of the dogs that are given away are people who adopt them or buy them and aren't ready for them. So it's like having a child.
Yes.
It's a big responsibility. If you don't like getting up in the morning, you don't like, you know. Okay, so you hear this? It's happening. It's happening.
What's he doing?
Talking me, whining. What? What? What do you want?
He looks pissed.
That's what he does to me every night now.
Oh, because he's ready to go to bed, right?
No, he just wants me. And it's
Aw. Oh, what a sweetheart.
okay. We're about to hear it be real.
Let's hear it, Juan. Aw, Juan. You want your mommy? Oh, he's kind of settling in now.
What's wrong? Leave it alone. You got your food over there. Go eat.
Go get your food.
Go get it.
Go get your food. Go get your
Go get
baby.
it.
Where's your
Over there.
baby? Where's your baby? Go get it.
He's like, I'm 110 years old right now.
I'm right behind him. Oh. I just lost us. All right.
All right, girl.
All right. Well, we
It was
should say
awesome.
goodbye. It was awesome.
It was
Thank
so
you
fun.
so much. Everybody, thank you for joining us. And if you're
Thanks
still
for joining us,
on,
everybody.
thank you for hanging
Thank
in.
you.
We'll
And my
do this
Instagram
again.
is at IAM_Molly. And if you guys have questions, I do go on my DMs when people are asking questions about, you know, career and just peacefulness and recipes and whatever.
And if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, you'll see all of the follows for Molly. Here comes another one following. Follow Molly. There you go.
There you
All
go.
right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have
Bye,
a nice
everybody.
evening. Love to you, Molly. Thank you, everybody, especially for hanging in. I see a couple of you hung in, and that's super cool. We will get in touch with you as we progress.
All right, girl. We'll talk soon.
All right. Happy New
Bye,
Year.
guys.